Last fall, the voters of Northern Virginia created a mandate for their elected officials. Think outside the box. Find ways to improve our transportation problems without increasing our taxes. The goal of this short presentation is to explain one very feasible solution to easing highway congestion significantly throughout Northern Virginia. I hope that you will find, as I have, that hot lanes is one of the best alternatives to help alleviate gridlock and improve the quality of our busy lives. If we are to implement changes, we need to work together with a vision for the future.
There is one thing all Northern Virginians agree on. Our region needs relief from traffic congestion. But the tax burden for citizens of Northern Virginia is already enormous. We have skyrocketing real estate taxes, and legislators are continually reaching deeper into our pockets for new projects.
In order to improve transportation without raising new taxes, we must utilize the resources of private enterprise to design, build, and maintain roads. One very feasible way to ease congestion in the region is to work with private companies to build hot lanes along our already existing roads and implement a bus rapid transit system region-wide. HOT stands for High Occupancy Toll Lanes. HOT lanes are built alongside already existing highways, and they're accessible to all vehicles upon a payment of a toll. HOT lanes also provide access to bus rapid transit, which will be explained later. It is also possible that HOT lanes could permit HOV, or high occupancy vehicle lanes, for a reduced toll. Have you ever sat in bumper-to-bumper traffic on Interstate 95, desperate to get to a business appointment or an important event? During those moments, for most people, it would be well worth the cost of a toll to get on the open lanes running down the middle of 95, which are currently reserved for vehicles with 3 or more passengers. A plumber, for example, might get in 2 extra clients in a day by driving 65 miles an hour in the hot lanes. Paying a toll for such a worker would be money well spent. A parent on his way home from work to see a child's baseball game would be willing to pay a toll to cut his drive time down so as to arrive in time to see the whole game, not just the last 5 minutes. Hot lane tolls are collected electronically at full highway speeds of 65 miles an hour. That's right, no slowing down and no backups at toll booths. Hot lane toll revenues fund the construction, expansion, and maintenance of hot lanes. Hot lanes are an alternative. There is always the free option of existing roads. Commuters are free to choose when to pay the toll and when not to. Hot lanes are separated by barriers from free lanes. Congestion in hot lanes is eliminated by using variable pricing. This means that a speed of 65 miles an hour is maintained in the hot lanes by raising the toll whenever the average speed drops, and lowering the toll when the average speed rises. These adjustments can be made minute by minute. Hot lanes reduce air pollution. If the same car drives 10 miles at 20 miles per hour, it emits considerably more pollution than if it makes the same trip at 50 miles per hour. Hot lanes can and should be built using public-private partnerships. When private companies are able to build roads, taxpayers are not burdened with paying skyrocketing costs. Companies have financial incentives to design well, build well, deliver on time, and in a cost-effective manner. Companies can also provide road warranties. In many cases, private companies can take responsibility for operating and maintaining the roads, which frees up VDOT to work on existing roads, again without added burden to the taxpayers. Even in public-private partnerships that utilize some taxpayer money, the cost savings and cost effectiveness of hot lanes is significant. For example, there is a current private proposal to add 2 barrier-separated hot lanes in each direction on the Beltway from the American Legion Bridge to the Mixing Bowl. The company proposes to finance 90% of the project through the tolls collected. The remaining 10% of the cost would be publicly funded. I propose that we work to develop a region-wide hot lanes network to extend and expand our road capacity and open up new mass transit alternatives without raising taxes. Ideally, this network would also reach into Maryland. Can you imagine driving 65 miles per hour from Fredericksburg to Dulles Airport during rush hour? This could be possible if we build a hot lanes network that includes 395 and 95 from Washington to Fredericksburg, the Beltway, which is currently proposed, and the Dulles Toll Road. A complete network might also include Route 66 all the way from Haymarket to Washington, Route 28 between Manassas and Route 7, the new Tri-County Parkway, and Route 1. Hot lanes can and should include a plan for bus rapid transit, or BRT. BRT runs like a subway rail system in that it has dedicated lanes and a guaranteed speed. BRT is dramatically different than regular city bus travel. BRT pulls up to dedicated stations where everyone has prepaid their tickets, as they do on a subway. When the bus arrives, passengers enter and exit the bus from an elevated platform to allow the fastest possible entry. Once a BRT bus has loaded, it pulls out of the station and gets directly onto the 65-mile-an-hour hot lanes. BRT is much less costly than rail, and it can be implemented using existing roads. BRT can also be adapted in locations with quickly growing transportation needs. For instance, the Route 28 corridor in western Fairfax County currently has the region's greatest job growth projection for the next 10 years. But this area has no plans for building heavy rail lines. BRT could easily be implemented to serve the needs of commuters in this corridor. It also takes significantly less time to plan and develop a BRT system than a subway rail system. If the Metro subway ever reaches Loudoun and Prince William, it will be decades from now. BRT, on the other hand, can reach these areas in just a few short years and at a small fraction of the cost. Where do we go from here? How do we begin to make the vision a reality? First, this initiative must begin with the people. We need to educate voters about why hot lanes are such a good idea. And voters must push their elected officials for hot lanes legislation. Second, elected officials need to make hot lanes a transportation priority. To implement hot lanes, legislators must ensure privacy of hot lanes toll information. And lastly, officials in the Commonwealth of Virginia must focus on cooperating with Maryland regarding transportation planning in order to achieve the best possible interoperability. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this presentation. I look forward to working together with you as we build a better future for the next generation. Please spread the word about hot lanes and let's get moving.